Welcome back to another weekly vlog. This week is a little different because we're going on vacation, so I'm going to take y'all with me, hopefully, and get some footage at the beach. But today I will be working on a cookie order that I have for my business. I had a little bit of a minty bee last night, but don't worry, I've made a full recovery and I'm back to being a silly goose. So I have to clean up the mess that I made last night that I did not clean up because I was upsetty. And then I'm gonna get on to that. I will give you all a little reading update here in a little bit, and then hopefully it's off to the beach tomorrow.
You're crazy.
You're crazy. She said no paparazzi, please. Oh, in your back. In your back. Alright, so it is time o'clock. My watch isn't working as usual, but the cookies are going surprisingly well, and I'm kind of worried because something is bound to go wrong. I don't know what it will be, I don't know when it will happen, but something is going to go wrong, and I'm scared because this is only my second paid order I've done, and they are difficult. This is the food coloring I have on my face that my dog didn't tell me about. But I don't know. Yesterday, like I said, I had a whole mental breakdown. The cookies weren't coming out right. I was rushing for some reason, so I redid them today and everything worked out fine. So maybe it's because I'm actually taking my time and trying my best. I don't know why I was rushing yesterday. I think it was just because I was already in a bad mood. So yeah. So I'm gonna finish up what I can do tonight, and then I will give you all another update in a little bit. Alrighty, I have done all I can for the time being on my cookies, so I just wanted to give you all a little reading update. Yesterday or the day before, yesterday, I finished reading Pucking Around. I gave it 4 stars. There's things I liked about it, things I didn't like about it, but overall I really enjoyed it and I would recommend it to other people, so that is why it got 4 stars. Then earlier while I was cooking, I finished The Inmate by Frida McFadden. That one I gave 5 stars to because I kept thinking that I knew what was going to happen, and I in fact did not know what was going to happen, so she got me good. Another one by Frida McFadden that I really enjoyed. I don't think I've talked to you for a couple weeks now, so let me go make sure. I think there's only one other one I finished. Pretty sure I told y'all about Never Lie by Frida McFadden because I read that. Well, when did I read that? End of May. So I don't know if I've updated you, but I also read Never Lie by Frida McFadden, which I gave that one 4 stars. Let me see if I can remember why. I don't know. I did really like that one too because the ending was a little bit of a surprise. Sorry, excuse my air conditioner. But I gave it 4 stars for some reason. I think maybe it just kind of drug on. And then I also listened to You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. And I gave that one 3 stars because I actually wrote my first ever book review on this. And originally I was just going to list all the cons, like all the things I didn't like about it, but I figured I should at least be fair. So this is my review on You Shouldn't Have Come Here. This was a good listen on audiobook and I enjoyed the dual cast, but the ending itself is what got me. The plot itself almost gave me Texas Chainsaw vibes, which I enjoyed. Small town with no one around but the same people that have known each other their whole lives. Author did a good job with making both characters likable while still drawing out the suspense. There were small parts where little details were dropped regarding the town's mysterious behavior and history that really got my head going. But the whole time I was trying to think of some crazy plot twist that was going to blow my mind, and unfortunately this one didn't. It was a good enough read, I just wasn't mind blown by the ending. I will continue to read more of the author's books though, as I don't want to judge their writing on one book. So, like I said in my review, I just wasn't very surprised by the ending, and that was unfortunate to me because it just, I liked the rest of the book so much, and the ending, everybody hyped it up so bad, like it was going to be crazy and unbelievable, and honestly, I kind of saw it coming, and then whenever it happened, it just felt anticlimactic. I kept waiting for something else to happen, and then the book ended, and I was like, well, that's unfortunate. So otherwise, my plans for this week, I have some book mail. Like I said, we're going to the beach, and so I wanted to try. I have never read any of these books that have like kind of a cartoonish cover, and I don't think I've read Tessa Bailey either. But I've never read any types of books like this before. I know sometimes they are spicy, I just don't ever believe it, so I've decided to prove it to myself. So I got It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I'm gonna read this while I'm at the beach, and then when I go again for a week in July, I'm gonna get Beach Read and try that one. I don't know if that's also Tessa Bailey, but it gives me these vibes. Like the cover looks like this. So I'm gonna read that, and then I have my 2 book club picks for the month that I haven't read yet, which is only the 5th, so it's not a big deal. But All the Dangerous Things, I am 34 pages into this, and nothing's really going on yet, so it not super intriguing as of right now. And then last night I started Priest while I was laying in bed, and I think I read 1 chapter of it, if not 2, or maybe just 1.5. I know I started falling asleep. My book's in the other room though, but I have it on my Kindle. I read 1 chapter last night. So that is what I have going on right now. I might get another audiobook here soon. I just don't know what yet. But as of right now, I'm kind of just chilling. Now that I finished my cookies for as much as I can, I'm going to work on, I'm making a bandana to wear to the beach because I always get a burn on my scalp. So I'm gonna hopefully wear a bandana and see if that'll protect me a little bit. So I have 5 more to make, and then I have to make like 5 little half daisies or something. And then also, one of the girls I work with has said that she wanted a bucket hat, so we kind of talked yesterday, and I'm starting to make her like a granny square bucket hat. This is the top part. I just didn't get very far into it last night because it was time for bed. Because I, like I said, tried the cookies yesterday, didn't work out, yada yada. So those are my plans for the evening, is to just watch movies or something and crochet until it's time to go mess with the cookies again, and then, yeah. Okay, it is now Sunday morning. I got a little bit of reading done the other day when I told you, but otherwise I have not read since then. So I think I started on page, I think 34, and now I'm on page 80. So I made a little bit of progress the other day, but I still have, let's see, about 240 pages left, which is definitely doable for the day. It just depends on my distraction levels and my motivation. I don't have anything else to do today really except like pick up my house a little bit, but otherwise that's all. So my goal is to finish this today, that way I can at least have a book done in this vlog for y'all. I know I talked about some I finished earlier, but I don't know if I actually finished them or not. I'm gonna read to about the halfway point at like 160, and then I'll check back in with y'all and let you know how it's going. So I am officially 50% through with All the Dangerous Things, and I just wanted to give you my thoughts real quick because A lot has changed in the last, how many pages did I read? 80 pages. So now that I'm this far into it, there's more characters or more like people in play that could potentially be suspects, but also it almost feels like it would be too obvious for them to have done it. But I'll give you all a real quick synopsis, that way y'all have some sort of clue as to what's going on. So this follows our main character, Izzy, whose son was kidnapped out of his room a year prior to this story. And her husband, Ben, have been trying to figure out who did it. Well, her and her husband ended up splitting up. 6 months into it, I would say, he's seeing someone new, and she is still just trying to figure out what happened. She has not slept in a year. Like, she's zoned out. She's had like a little power nap, kind of, but she's never like had a full night's sleep since her son disappeared. So she's obviously having issues, and that's the general premise of the story. She also, the other part is that she meets a podcaster who wants to interview her to see if they can figure out what's going on, because the police really haven't done anything. There's no clues and nothing for them to go off of. So she starts talking to the podcaster, and I guess like starts to question herself, is at least what the synopsis said. Now I'm gonna kind of get into a little bit of spoilery type of stuff, because earlier, as I said, like, the people that I think could have done it, it just feels it would be too cliche for them to have done it. But there's also some extra details and stuff that kind of involve spoilers. So, spoilers are starting now. First of all, I think Ben is a jerk, because when he met Izzy, he was married. At Allison's funeral, they're making out. And then he's still married to Izzy, and he's seeing someone else. So, we don't like Ben. Also, Allison mysteriously died of suicide, which I do not trust. And so, that's the first character that I feel like it would be too cliche to have done it. And then, the second character, obviously, is Izzy, the mom, because it jumps back and forth between now and then, which was either when she first met Ben, or then as in her childhood, because something happened to her sister. And when she was little, she used to sleepwalk like into the marsh and then come back. And all I've read so far is that the sister was in an accident. Izzy woke up like in new pajamas. There's mud all over the floor. She has mud on her neck. And I'm assuming that the sister died or something, or at least they are making it seem that way. And then in present time, Izzy also caught herself sleepwalking and staring at her son while he was asleep for 2 hours. So that's where it comes in that I'm like, okay, the mom could have done it, but that would also be too cliche. So I don't know. I think there's going to be more of like a twist somewhere in here, but I just don't know what it's going to be. So I'm actually really liking it. I wasn't really vibing with it at first, just because it started out slow and I was not sitting down for long chunks of time to read it, so I wasn't getting a whole lot of information. But that was 80 pages. I have 160 left, so I will update you in another 80 pages, and then again at the end, and let you know what I thought. Alright, so I'm officially just about 75% through with all the dangerous things, and I don't have a whole lot of updates right now because things have just kind of been going as they have. There's been a couple little things that were revealed that weren't like super shocking, but otherwise the only other thing that I wanted to add and meant to add last time is that when it jumps back in time to her childhood, it really makes me think of The Haunting of Hill House, just because they're in this like big house, at least that's what I think. They're in this like big house that's kind of like described as haunting, and their mom is kind of off, like at least that's how I perceived it. And so I like that about it. I love Haunting of Hill House, so that kind of aspect of it is interesting to me. But otherwise, we're kind of just getting down to the nitty-gritty now of what happened, so I'm excited to see how it ends. Obviously, it's still going in the way that I expected it to go, but I really think there's going to be something else thrown in there that's going to throw us all off. So I'm going to finish the book and I'll check in with y'all in a little bit. All right, I have officially finished the book and it ended so good. I knew. Not exactly what the ending was, but all of my previous guesses were good, were accurate. So I'm gonna give this 5 stars, honestly. It was so good. It almost felt a little slow at the beginning, but then once I like actually got into it and started reading, I couldn't stop. So 5 stars to this. I was absolutely bamboozled at the end because I was not expecting it at all. And it had a relatively happy ending, so I do recommend that you read this. Please go pick it up. It's only 320 pages, easy read, do it. But otherwise, that is going to conclude this reading vlog. It is Sunday, so I'm gonna start another one after this, but I at least wanted to finish that book in this vlog. So I hope you enjoyed. If you've made it this far, go ahead and leave me a dinosaur emoji, and if you have any recommendations for books or video ideas, please leave them down below in the comments, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.